Oh, there he is. This must be filmed in Pennsylvania right now, where it's raining.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivello. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween. during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome to another fabulous Tuesday night. The Haunt Hour is on. How is everybody doing tonight?
I got my beach stuff.
Yeah.
I got my beach.
Are you at the beach?
I'm at the beach. Look, I got my hang 1031, tank top on. I got my cool. This is so I don't get burned at the beach.
Oh, that's
it's
great idea.
It's my Halloween.
Bloody hell.
I love it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, maybe you should tell your daughter, even though the
they even
sun isn't out, you still get burned.
Do you guys even go to the beach when it rains all day long?
You know what happens when we go to the beach when it rains all day long? That's when you clean up the beach or you go clamming. We have 3 days in the whole year that doesn't rain in the Oregon beaches, and
that's when everybody goes.
Yeah. It's also on a Tuesday always, so it's never on a Saturday. Yeah. I also found this. It's a sand bucket full
and you're
of
drinking out of it.
Alcohol.
What are you drinking? I'm not even drinking. I'm the one on vacation.
I'm drinking a Cape May apple. That's a Washington apple, but from Cape May.
I don't even.
It's also blood colored for our guests. See, blood.
Perfect.
Blood.
You're amazing, Troy.
Oh man, I'll tell you what.
Your level of creativity is amazing.
He just goes with it. He just goes. You know.
Dan, I also bought you a shirt today.
Oh no. I will wear that. I will wear that. 110%.
For those of you who don't know, Dan was on Haunt Chat Live on Saturday night.
Yes, I was.
And I was alerted by somebody that they were talking about me. And so,
we weren't even talking about you until you started commenting. you started trolling, and then that's
he was alerted by somebody that you were being talked about.
Actually, Haunt Chat Live alerted me because their thing came up and said, "Hey, Haunt Chat Live's live with Dan Doble."
Wow.
Yeah, Troy. I think Troy was a little hurt that he wasn't on the show.
I got that from our messages. I didn't want to say anything, but I kind of got that like a little. Yeah, I was just reading and just scrolling.
Been on the show. I open that show every season since beginning. I mean, you know this. I mean, Mike Ross has been around before you, Troy.
Well, yeah, he's older than me.
What's that?
Yeah, he's older than me. God, why don't you just tell the world that Mike Ross is old? Wow, jerk. Hey, guess what? Episode 3 next year.
Well, you know,
keep this going, and you're on episode 15, and he only does 14 episodes. So
that's true. It's definitely true. It's definitely true.
Well, I had to keep you. I had to keep the facts straight because you're like we do like every other Saturday afternoon, and we do some Monday morning shows. And
wait,
I was like, you know how many shows we did? How many years?
That's the only thing I screwed up. I screwed up how many shows we did last year and this year, and that's why you're so valuable, Troy.
Right.
I mean, you're very valuable because you can give those dates and those links, and I mean. It's what you do. It's what you do. It's adding to the puzzle, which is the Haunt Hour. I mean, that's.
I'm a very organized person when it comes to things that don't involve my wife. Because if they involve my wife, then I suck at it.
Spoken like a true Troy.
I'm always in trouble.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. Well, speaking of spoken like a true Troy.
Oh man,
how's the Halloween haunt industry going on right now? Anybody got any news?
I do. I have news. I have two things of news. If nobody else has news, then
I got a little bit of news. I just can't talk about it. I told you guys a little bit.
Yeah, we know.
I'm gonna drop a little bit of fun. So
yeah, don't tease things. You know.
Don't drop hints.
It's always fun for those haters that follow me. So
wait, what? We have people. We have people that hate us already?
I don't have any haters.
No, Susie, you just can't get on.
I never ever got a message with the actual comments from my haters. Ever.
True that.
From somebody else saying what they didn't like about me. That's never happened. Anyway.
True. Yeah. Never.
I don't have any news. I'm at the beach. That's my news. I'm on vacation.
What are you doing at the beach? Just having a non-Halloween haunted house adventure?
Well, we're going on a ghost tour tomorrow night. Cape May ghost tour. Fun. Yeah. If anybody's ever been to, sorry, my glasses are like wonky. If anybody's ever been to Cape May, New Jersey, it's a very haunted historical town. There's a lot of history here. There's actually a couple different tours we could do. So we're doing like a trolley tour.
Sweet.
But Cape May, New Jersey with my sisters here till Friday. Troy's holding the fort down at the coffee shop. I have no haunt news when it comes to my own haunt. And there he is. There he is.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that kind of looks familiar. They
also opened it as a bikini barista.
I was just going to say, do you have a picture that you can match up like from my page that would look similar to that picture?
That's what I was talking about the other day when you were.
I see. Yeah, you're like, copy me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean this one?
It's kind of similar.
You know what? I'm going to have Troy take a picture of me doing that in my coffee shop with the bikini on. And I'm going to make that my picture. And
but the question is, will you be majestic as fuck? Because that's what this girl was.
I am not going to be majestic for Halloween because you're majestic as fuck. I am not the unicorn in this group.
That is true.
If you watch that video, her voice is so annoying.
It is.
It's like 10 levels of annoying.
This girl?
Yeah, when you watch that video, that vlog that we did on there, she's an attractive woman, but annoying AF.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we digress. Yes. So, Troy, any news this week?
I do. We had a guest on earlier this year, Roland Pickens.
Yeah.
And he's in Texas. And Roland has officially, now I've known this for quite some time now because we're what they call in the industry as friends. I have a few.
He's got friends in low places.
Yeah.
Very, very well. Texas
below
is
the belt,
Oregon, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he has gone pro.
Nice.
Oh, I did hear bits and pieces about this. Tell us more.
Now this is in Forney, Texas. So it is east of Dallas. And it's actually just east of Mesquite, Texas, if that kind of
yeah, that's close to where the show is.
Yeah. He's like 15 minutes away from the show, 15, 20 minutes away from Mesquite, maybe. So he's been doing a lot of things for the high school, for the plays that his kids have been in. And obviously they've been very they've been very Halloween related. He did a cemetery scene, and he did
I remember that.
Well, and then he did Moana, which was not Halloween related, but still showcases his talents to be able to shift. But in the process of doing that, he got to talking to people about and they approached him to do a haunted house at the high school. So they are. He went through all the processes and all the things with the high school to get it done. What's cool about the high school is you already have the insurance set up. You've already got the sprinkler system set up, the fire, all the fire stuff. The fire, obviously, fire marshal's still going to have to go through because this is not a classroom. It'll be something that'll be new. So, but Roland's pretty well versed in all that stuff. But a few people have asked, why do you call it the Brooklyn Sanatorium? Which is, even sanatorium is different than sanitarium. But sanatorium's the same thing. It's just kind of an older name for it. Forney used to be called Brooklyn. So it used to be Brooklyn, Texas until 1870. So they changed the name in 1870, and which was ironically the same year that Mike Ross and Roland Pickens were born.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
I'm so glad you didn't throw me into that.
They actually did the coin toss to pick the name, and Mike Ross won, and so it was Forney for obvious sexual overtones.
For obvious Mike Ross reasons. Yes.
Yeah. Horny. So, but what he's going to do with that, because he's already been asked, why is it named that? And so he's kind of told him that, that's the thing, but also the way that they're going to play in the city is that, when it gets closer to October, they're going to do clues on this Facebook page of historical places, and so you have to kind of either name the historical place or whatever to get free tickets.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So they're gonna
way to get people involved.
Yeah,
that's
which
a
is
smart
something
idea.
I've always done that with my displays, and where I live, I always try to tie in the city, either use a building or part of the name or something like that. It does help with having the city like you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he is going pro, and there is a possibility that we haven't fully fleshed it out yet, but we may be doing a daytime tour of this haunted house during the Texas Terror Tours in the beginning.
Yeah, that was my next question. Is this going to be something that we might get a sneak peek at, last minute sneak peek?
Yes,
like private tour type thing.
Yeah, it'll be a drive yourself thing, but we will put it on as something to do during the day. First he asked, he was like, "Hey, do you have room on the tour for it?" He's like, we could easily, put people through pretty quickly. And I was like, well, with where we're going, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah.
With the lines and how many people are going to be.
But the lights on, take your time. I mean, that's a great idea.
Right.
That's what I love that's what I love about Texas Haunters Convention. They're very fluid. If something cool pops up, they're not a shutdown. No, it's not going to happen. It's hey, let's see how we can make it work.
This is during the Texas Terror Tours.
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh,
yeah, no, he's not going to. He hasn't even started. I mean, he's starting to build stuff now. No, this will be in October. For our haunted house tours.
Oh, my apologies.
That's right. But I agree. Texas Haunters Convention is very fluid in the way they plan their stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, no, this will be during our Texas Terror Tours.
Got it.
Tour during the day. And I believe it's going to be free. Maybe donations. Who knows? But we will do more on that on our Facebook page. But yes, so we are very excited for Roland to go from a home display, which he does very good at. He's been doing it for a long time. That now he's going to go and do pro, and it will be a charity thing, and it will benefit the Warren Middle School Theater Department and the Forney High School Theater Tech Department. So all the money raised will be going back into the education of kids to do theater and stuff like that, which is probably the best place to get actors and set builders and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect. Well, speaking of pro, there might be something else that I might be doing here.
And evidently Dawn has educated us.
Sanitarium is for people with mental health issues. What about a sanatorium, though? What is that for? There we go. Oh, is that their theme then?
For TB, so
is that their theme? Like
you're going to get TB while you're in there.
Yeah. Hey, just think in 100 years, it's going to be like the COVID sanatorium.
Right.
People are going to be like, "Am I going to get COVID?"
So it'd be the COVIDorium.
Yes, it'd be the COVIDorium,
if you will. Yes, I love that. I love that. So anyway, Dan, don't tell anybody that you're moving to Connellsville to help me with my haunt. I think it's too soon to make that announcement.
I won't.
Anyway.
No, there's not enough alcohol in this to accept that as truth.
Right. He misses Micah so much, he's just going to freaking move here. He's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to move down there. I love my man, Micah.
Micah's amazing. I feel like there's a little... Micah gets a little bit of a word every time, every show.
Does. Listen, wait though. Micah's helping Troy at the coffee shop this week. Not Monday, Tuesday. He just got to town today.
If you guys live in Closer, I would totally go surprise them and bust their chops.
I need pics tomorrow. Awesome. I'm gonna ask Troy for pictures and I'll post them. Yeah, they'll probably make better tips than I do.
Troy in a bra, giving the double bird or what?
Yeah.
Sure.
I left some swimsuits at home. Surely he can tie one around and
put him in a one piece. Yeah.
That cleavage, nice and good.
Wow.
Do they make dad bod swimsuits? Is that
they make one-piece swimsuits that have like fake hair. Have you seen those?
Oh,
That
yeah.
look like they have like the fake hair and the nipples.
No, I haven't seen it, but we'll just move on.
Don't worry.
He's got one in his closet.
I will find one.
I don't think with the hair on Dan's head, he needs a fake hair suit.
No.
I don't think.
No, I cut my hair. I don't know why everybody's busting the chops.
No. It's an envious head of hair for anybody. Troy. Very envious.
Troy, you like that?
I'm
Oh
envious.
my god!
Of
did
hair.
you did you give that to like Locks of Love? Did they have to like not accept any more donations?
It couldn't have been that much.
Yeah,
They have their quota of hair now.
I mean, it was a lot of hair, but it wasn't anything exciting.
Like, did they have to bring in the shop vac?
You're
Probably.
just jealous.
I would imagine.
I'm just jealous. I don't want my hair. I love that I'm going bald.
It says every bald man ever.
Hey, women dig bald men. Okay,
yeah, is that why your Fu Manchu is getting bigger?
Yeah.
it's all transferring, and then it's slowly coming down here. It's
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my gosh! Let's talk about Halloween stuff, shall we? Who's on tonight? What are we
There's
doing
a pumpkin in here somewhere.
Oh, gross.
It's just
We have
absolutely disgusting.
One of those marshmallow pumpkins in the candy corn.
Ew. I don't even want to know what's in your beard because it could be anything. Right?
All right. Let's talk about Castle Blood, shall we?
Yeah, Susie.
Yes. Ricky. Gravely.
There he is.
There he is. Hello. Hi, Ricky. Oh, bye,
there
Ricky.
he goes. So we're having problems with his internet tonight because there's thunderstorms because Susie left.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
In celebration of me leaving the state, Mother Nature said, let's have a thunderstorm. So, oh, shit.
Well, I was there for a second. There we are.
There you are. You're there. Is it still storming?
Yay. It's still storming here a little bit. And when the three of you were kind of in the sidebar and showing the pictures of the sanatorium, everything was great. So I don't know what's going on.
Of course.
Of course.
And now all three of you are kind of frozen again on my view.
Can you hear us, though?
It's a little garbly, like you're the parents in Charlie Brown.
Oh, nice.
That's Susie all the time. So
yes, that's Troy all the time because
whatever. I just made that joke.
No, you're always drunk. I'm not. That's factual information.
That is true.
Anyway, and I'm not even on vacation and I'm not drunk. So there you go.
Well, let's get this on the road, and then you can go hammer them down.
So, Ricky, can you hear us? Fudge.
Ricky, are you there? Ricky. I think we lost Ricky. Anyway, let's give a little bit of background on Ricky while we're waiting for Ricky to come back.
So Ricky owns Castle Blood in Monessen, PA. There he is.
There we go.
There he is. And I want to say a costume that he made himself. I'm almost 1,000% sure. Ricky, can you confirm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. We have a costume of Ricky's that we purchased. He's an excellent. Oh, my computer's going. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he makes. I want to say probably all of the costumes.
No, we have a lot. We have a lot of really talented costumers that make their own. Like that's my wife right there, and she made her own.
See, that's the thing about this place. If nobody's ever been to Castle Blood, it is unlike any haunt that you've ever been to. Not just the haunt itself, but the cast of characters. I mean, you said you have a cast of extremely talented people. I can't name one of my actors that can sew, so there's that. But every time I go, I'm blown away. I can't get my actors sometimes to say 3 or 4 different bits and like rotate them like you do in a conventional haunted house where people come through and they have their little skit and then they, it's hard. And I think anybody that's a professional a haunted house owner, they can attest to that. Sometimes it's just hard to get them to say what they're supposed to say. These people are I don't even know what to say. I don't want to call them stage actors.
They're theatrical.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the most theatrical.
It's not even that. It's that. But even when you're on the stage, you're not back and forth with the crowd. These people have the comeback lines, and these people know their shit. They know what they're saying. They know what they're talking about. Why they know the ins and outs of everything they're doing. They're all amazing, and I'm not lying when I tell you it gets better every single time I go. Every single time.
Thank you. It's a weird, interesting way we find people, to be honest. I mean, it started off as just a Halloween party for our variety arts performer friends, clowns and magicians and jugglers, and then a bunch of costumers, either fanish or pro costumers, and we were just dressing up for Halloween to hand out trick or treats. Like this guy right here, Dr. Belfry. Mm-hmm. He's been my friend longer than the castle, and he's a Ringling Clown College graduate from the 80s.
Wow.
So because the core of us had that almost like, what's my line? You're just going to go for it and feed off of whatever. And then as it's changed, because it was very freeform in the beginning.
Right.
And then as it's changed in the tour or the game, which I guess we'll get into, got harder. We really are scripted. But no matter how scripted you are trying to do a theatrical show, just imagine if you were on stage, but then every time something interesting came up, you paused and asked the audience, what do they think? And then you have to deal with that. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what all these people have to do.
So then you would say that instead of it just being a traditional haunted house, you are more of a story-driven, immersive experience than a walk through different rooms and get scared and go on to the next room type of deal, right?
Plus a third of it is a magic show and another third of it is an escape room, and it's all in one. And sometimes it's magic to make the escape type prop work, and then you have to sit and listen to a story anyway. So it's defining it has always been hard. That's been the hardest thing about this show, has been defining it for the past 30 years.
Right.
You do sit in several scenes. You do.
Really?
You go in.
And I mean, our
you sit down.
We start a small group every 5 minutes. I mean, that's not old school 90s Leonard Pickle and Joe Jensen throughput. Let me tell you that.
No, it's not.
I'm the place that throughput goes to die.
Right. But it's successful though.
Well, we do not do the kind of numbers that all of our brothers around here and sisters in Pittsburgh do, but we have an incredibly, incredibly loyal following after all these years. I always say, I think I could do a couple of thousand people if I just set up in a cornfield one year, because they'd be curious what the heck we could do with that when they'd show up to see it.
Right. But I mean, that's kind of, like the guest we had on last week. Haunting isn't about throughput. It's not about how much money you can make. It's not about just scaring people to get them scared. It's we have to evolve as an industry, because seeing what's on TV is far worse than what they see in a haunted house. So we have to compete with that.
Which is why everything we do is classic monsters and my wife, the Canadian, termed us about a long time ago classic American Halloween. You know how Disney says Main Street USA is the Victorian era you think you remember? So we try to do the things that you think were the classic American perfect Halloweens with our versions of the classic monsters, and just Halloween the way you wish it was in your memory,
Right.
Yeah. And I will say, I know I'm in the haunted industry, but I don't know that I'm necessarily in the horror industry. But I know for sure I'm in the Halloween industry.
Right.
For sure. Side note, it rained a little bit in Cape May today, and I said, "Damn it, we don't have an umbrella." And my daughter said, "No, Dad packed our Halloween umbrella that we got at Castle Blood." And so
that's a fancy collector one. You got one of those.
I have that beautiful umbrella with me, and so just FYI, which Ricky has this really cool gift shop at the end of the haunt, where he's got a ton of different things, t-shirts, Castle Blood t-shirts and things, but we've got a couple of your ornaments. We have your umbrella now that you had. I think we bought the last one that you had. Really neat little gift shop that's not your typical Halloween gift shop at the end of a haunt. A lot of
our
like
cast are artists, and
yeah,
if it's not the stuff that we brand and logoed and whatever, almost everything else is made by somebody in the cast or somebody that's been through or that we know, friend of Castle kind of stuff. So it's all limited stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else.
That's cool. That's cool.
It is. It's super cool.
So it is one big family. Just a giant family that supports each other.
Oh, 100%. I mean, some literal family and lifelong friends, and we're always it seems we have 2 or 3 new keepers every year. It runs like a community theater or a club. So to be honest, people come and go as their time warrants. Sometimes they're in Pittsburgh for college, so we have them for 4 years and they're gone. We always have a couple of kids from the theater departments in high school, and if we're lucky, they do real well and all like that, and then we end up shipping them off to college somewhere, and they have good lives. So it's a little bit of the Boys and Girls Club, a little bit of a haunt, just, again, hard to define.
Right.
There's
that's where I'm sitting right now. That's actually the red chair I'm sitting in right now.
Nice.
Cool.
There's a lot of haunts out there that are this, that your haunt is like some others, but your haunt is also very different than others. Can you explain to everybody out there what makes your haunt different than any other haunted house in the United States?
It'd be troubling to say any other haunt in the United States.
Okay.
None of us probably know every one single thing,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I do think one thing is, especially in our current location, we are a haunted house. It looks like everybody lives here, and that's the aesthetic when we're designing everything. It's like, this is my character's office. Well, what would my character actually have? And we go down that rabbit hole of what does Gravely collect and what does Gravely like, as opposed to, me, right? Stuff like that. Right. So that makes it a little bit different. The interactiveness is different. I mean, interactiveness was a nice buzzword 10 years ago, and now it's immersive is the buzzword everybody wants to use.
Yep.
But it's all just a different way of handling the people. Nobody at the castle will ever scream from a corner, "Get out." They'll probably corner you and say, "I have something important to tell you."
Come in.
If that makes sense, right? No. Don't run away. Don't run away. You want to see this. You want to hear this.
Yeah.
You want to experience this. Just slow down for a minute.
Yeah, they invite you in. It's never like hurry up and get through. It's welcome and sit down.
Right.
I mean, if you even on a Saturday night in October, there's times that you won't realize there's another group in the place.
Wow.
So Ricky,
it is very different from other haunts.
Right.
Yes, I would agree.
It's important to note that the castle is actually a former funeral home, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Built in 1905 by one of the founders of our city. And by the 30s, it was sold and turned into a funeral home. And it was a working funeral home until 2009 under 4 different families. So it was one of those funerals and everything downstairs. Everybody lives upstairs kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I even noticed,
that's
the house across the street even has, that even looks badass.
Yeah, it's creepy, right?
For you.
Yeah. Hey, but if we have any luck, there's a soul food restaurant going in that bottom. That's pretty soon.
Is there?
The guy brought over some fish sandwiches the other day to our crew just to have us taste them, and everything was great.
Oh, that's great.
We got a lot of work to do, but yeah, it's nice,
So how many square feet is your haunt?
It's Castle Blood. Yeah.
The tour is about 6,000 square feet. If you count the outdoor cemetery and Witches Woods a little bit, I think maybe 6,500 maybe. Okay. The 3rd floor is way up high is where the cast room is. We don't use that for the public.
Right.
Like you can see in that picture, way up high, an extra set of dormers. I fell in love with the place because of the turret. Right. And that's where our gypsy fortune tellers and whatever are up. And how do you not have your fortune tellers up in the turret?
It's the coolest scene too. It really is. And there's always some kind of a cool magic trick. And for some reason, I'm always the one they pick when we're in that room.
Oh, I wonder why. They don't see you coming from a mile away.
What? They can't. I'm this big.
That's true. That's true.
No. But yeah, so, back in, oh my gosh, 2015, I want to say, Troy went to Harrisburg to get his inspection license. I don't know. Ricky probably knows the better terminology for it.
Yeah,
Anyway, Ricky,
our safety inspector license.
That safety inspector, yeah. Ricky was one of the very first people we met in the industry when we got into the professional haunted attraction industry. And that year, I think it was 2015. I don't know if we decided if it was 2015 or 2016. He did a halfway to Halloween event. And Troy was like, let's sign up for this. It's a series of classes that you take all day long. You break for lunch. They're providing lunch for everybody there in like the courtyard. It was a day in May, obviously, because that's halfway to Halloween. And we learned makeup. We learned Monster Mud. I'd never heard of Monster Mud until that moment in time. Whenever we helped you with Monster Mud in your cemetery. And we took a couple other classes. I think there was a mini spotlight class, a couple other things. It was just so interesting. It was my first kind of like introduction into the haunted attraction industry. But what I want to say is that was when you had recently moved to that location, I want to say, right? Within the couple years there? When did you move to that location?
2014 was our first year in this location.
So it was.
We moved here in 2014.
Okay, so this was 2015.
It was still pretty new. Yeah, we managed to we got the place in April of 2014 and managed to open for Halloween. Okay, but
yeah,
there were scenes that were like, well, yeah.
It was like
our loyal customers kind of squinted their eyes as they went through a few scenes, and we did okay. And by the next year, we were starting to get back our groove.
Can I tell you how amazing it is now? Like, honestly, every time I go through the castle, I'm like, wow. Like, the detail from the beginning when I first saw it and now when I go through, I'm just blown away. The actors have gotten a million times better. The storyline, which Ricky writes himself for everything, and I think it's.
I got a lot of help with that, though. I always have a lot of help with that.
Well,
Chris Handa is my magic supervisor, and I tell him I need some weird thing to be able to do whatever, and he combs the world to find some method to do it.
Well,
and or my wife, if it's a game type thing, like an escape room thing, my wife may not build it, but she's the one that comes up with the games. And so we have a lot of people involved. My daughter, Sarah Ross, our performance director, Sarah Black, our performance director, is more than just me writing it. I come up with an outline, and then depending on what cast we have for that show or how it's going to be, we all have to chip in. I may be the one that finally types it with a million typos and sends it to the cast, but I'm far from the only one that has their hands in the script.
But they memorize it. Like I'm just like coming from a place of where I am, where I can't get my people to do like two things, and you've got these people running this. I mean, it's just amazing to me. I don't know if anybody but a haunted, a pro could appreciate it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people come through and they love it and they think it's great, but I'm in there like, how in the hell are they memorizing this whole script and they know what they're talking about and they're, connecting the dots, and it is amazing. Ricky, tell us about your shows and what types of shows you do throughout the year. It's not just in October.
Well, we do our traditional Halloween adventure tour, we used to call it. But then we still do this, and we also do matinees. I'm not sure how many or when people started. In 2005, I think, we started doing Sunday afternoon matinees, and we didn't really change the show. We just turned all the lights on and took the scare actors away and put 10 trick-or-treat stations throughout the place so families and kids could come. And because the lights were all on, we let them take pictures too. So they can take as many pictures as they want going through, which is also a burden because the place has to look right if it's going to be full light and they're taking pictures, right?
Right.
That's like my worst fear.
We hide a lot in the dark.
Yeah. Then We do a Christmas show, which is our spooky little Christmas, Cryptmas, which is not too many scares at all, but it is creepy because we don't turn the lights on. But every cast member or all the scenes are decorated for the kind of characters that are.
Oh, we lost him.
He's leaving us hanging. No, come back. Come back.
You can wheel him back with that.
There it is, Christmas.
We've been to that show a couple times. Yeah, it's incredible, honestly, what they do. I can't talk it up enough.
Oh, he's back. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, so some of the Christmas stuff. So and for the Christmas show, when they get out to the cemetery, which is our Ginger Dead Lane, they're allowed to take pictures there.
Oh, nice.
We do a St. Patrick's Day show, which is all Celtic mythology as far as the monsters, the stories, and the scare. And then we do Summerween, which is coming up this week. And that one is all about myths and monsters and legends from the area. Because Pittsburgh may be zombie capital of the world, but there's a reason it is, because this place is messed up. There's a reason Mothman was really close to here. There's a reason that the Westmoreland dog boy is here, stuff like this. So I'm not saying we don't take some liberties with that to write a nice, fun story.
Right.
But we do all the mythology stuff for Summerween, and it's all local, and it's fun because not many people know about the Monongahela Triangle, and our river is the only one in our hemisphere that runs south to north, which is probably why things are goofy here too.
Wow,
yeah, it's a long, weird history of things before there were even settlers here. This place was a mess. So we do those 4 shows a year.
Yeah, I've never been to your Summerween. Is it new?
This is our 2nd year with Summerween. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Last year we did Summerween because can you still hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. We did Summerween because the whole rest of the industry started doing halfway to Halloween, to be honest. And I'm like, all right, enough with that. Then we're going to do something else. Grab all the ideas you want. I don't mind. I'll come up with something else. And Summerween was not a made up word by me, but as far as, especially from Oregon and the whole Gravity Falls, Oregon, everybody knows, right? So, summer and if people come in costume, they get to go trick or treat. They still get trick or treat candy at the end and, stuff like that. So it's a fun one. And it's all of these things the off-season shows are fun. It's mostly just our regulars. They're not greatly attended like a Saturday night in October, but it's our regulars that come and they have a great time and they get to see the characters in a little different light. And to be honest, the story goes through the whole year. A couple of years ago for St. Patrick's Day in the fortune teller's room, you got a special tarot card. And you were told, now you bring this back in October because you're going to need it for that game 6 months from now.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Stuff like, so the regulars, new people can come and just have a good time and it'll be fine. And they leave going, what the hell was that the first time, right? I'm sure Susie can say, yeah, I did that too, right?
Yeah.
But for the regulars, we need to keep always giving them little extra Easter eggs or extra things to make them happy and to make them feel involved. And it was hilarious because they brought that card back and the gypsy takes it from them and tears it up. Now she puts it back in a box and restores it for them. And now the card also says, if you mess up anything on your tour, this is your get out of jail free card. So it was a fun thing, but the look on the customers' faces when little Critter, the most innocent, sweet-looking little gypsy girl you can imagine, just looks them straight in the eye and just tears it up. It's hilarious. Hilarious. Awesome. We had to get some people extra ones that we had because they were upset because they collect everything they get from us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, uh-oh.
I was just going to say, it's funny because I feel like every winter coat that I have has a pair of Castle Blood fangs in them. Because
or beads, right?
Or beads, or a gemstone, or a something. It's just funny. But
Some memorabilia.
He gives out fangs at the end. Everybody gets a set. No matter what show you're at, you get a set of vampire teeth, little fangs.
Yeah, if you win the game, you're made an honorary vampire for X amount of time, and you get your cheap plastic fangs.
Yeah.
And if people don't get them, if they've lost the game, they'll sit and beg. They'll do anything at the last room to get them. Anything for these 3-cent pair of fangs.
They really do.
So then
one time a reviewer came through and said, Nobody loses here, right? I'm like, oh no, they totally lose. It's like when you get regular people coming in that are scared or timid, or we're using fancy language they can lose. And he's like, I don't believe you. Like, well, sorry, you can. So he came back for the Valentine's show, which we don't do anymore because of the bad weather here. He came back for the Valentine's show the next year, and I wrote the whole show, so everybody lost. Everybody.
Great.
It's just that you don't see the other groups. So since you don't see the other groups, you don't know how they did.
Yeah.
Right.
One group won because an actor forgot and messed something up, which was hilarious too. But the reviewer comes out and he's like, "Oh my God, you can really lose." I'm like, "Yep." And then he wrote this big review of I was proven wrong, I was this, I was that. In the comments of the review, I just told him exactly what we did.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. But still, yeah.
So yeah, it's just fun. It's just that's how creative my people are. Right. They can just roll with whatever I think we need to do. And sometimes it's very moving show. Sometimes it has a message, the show. Sometimes it's just fun and ridiculous. It depends on how me especially, but other people are feeling. I mean, I will admit totally that my friend Chris, my operations manager, says Ricky doesn't need therapy to go to therapy. He charges people $20 a head to come do therapy with him. And whatever's going on in my life, my head, or the world ends up in the show sometimes.
Ricky, I have a question. Question for you. So my wife hates haunted houses. Like, she's petrified of being scared. For being so theatrical, is this something that my wife would enjoy? I don't want to downplay our scare actors because they're awesome, but the scares are all Scooby-Doo scares. Okay.
It really is just like that. They're either an animation that has a wacky voice that'll just startle you, or the live scare actors are all behind walls.
Yeah.
So my scare actors never get touched.
Right.
And B, it's fun. Even if they scare the hell out of you, it's still fun and funny and ridiculous. And some of them are good as at interpretive wordplay as the rest of the cast.
Right. So your show is. So
she would probably have good here.
It's not for. You're not doing this for how many people pee their pants through the end. This is to give them an experience.
I have peed my pants in your little mausoleum part where you have your drop panels. I have definitely peed my pants there because I wasn't expecting it.
I mean,
you're not.
Right.
So yeah.
No, but
our drop panel scares and our window slams and all like that are real good, and they're hidden really good.
Nice.
And I claim that as a thank you to John Denley for all the subcontracting haunts that I built with him in the 2000s. I know how to build the scares. It's just what we do with them isn't as brutal as what other haunts do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not as extreme in your face.
Yeah.
Their scares are there, but they're just, like you said, Scooby-Doo jump scares. It's not, oh my gosh, I'm going to be curled up in a corner.
Yeah, there's a guy behind the painting, stuff like that.
Right.
Yep.
I like that. I mean, I like the fact that it's not. It's.
My wife would love it.
Yeah.
You would love it.
The amount of theater that's involved in it. That's what I love about this show is it's very.
Yeah, when the legendary haunt tour came through Pittsburgh years ago, Alan Hops and his wife Sharon, since you've had Alan on the show, right?
Yeah.
They came out and they were just like, his wife was like, I didn't think any place like this could exist anymore. What the heck? It's like they were like, yeah, it's to be honest, it's me and my family and my friends, and we just do what amuses us.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. and there's a following for it.
I mean, at least that way it's true and honest what we're doing, you know?
Right. So then your theme, so the overall theme of the experience is vampires, though?
Yeah, it's Castle Blood because it's owned by vampires.
Okay.
Vampires are, for the most part, our most prevalent character. My character is the caretaker who got extended life so he can do all the day-to-day operations for the vampires, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So there's the vampire class of things, and then there's the macabre family that runs everything. You don't usually see the big head vampires or whatever anymore, but all of their second-generation vampires are everywhere around. And then we have some mortals and some humans that are in, like our scientists are in. And we come up with reasons that makes sense. The scientists are allowed to do that because they also they work on our vampire protection policy, trying to break curses and figure out how to block sunlight, how to do this, how to do that. And that's just stories that have gone through all the years. Even when we had our TV show, the same kind of skits and the same kind of stories we do in the haunt, that's what we would do on the TV show, you know. Some things are canon in our background just because we did them, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, which is frustrating sometimes to our new cast members because they're like, hey, can we do this? I'm like, no, because almost 20 years ago, we did this thing that proves this other thing. And no, we can't.
Doesn't make any sense. You can't do it.
So building on that, I have a question as far as like set design and stuff like that. I'm assuming you do not change rooms at all. You just build on them.
Speaking of a TV show, I'm assuming this is because it's the HSTV.
I think so.
Yeah.
What year does this say?
This was 7 years ago. Well, it was
posted then.
7 years ago.
Let's see. I'm back. Am I back?
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. So set design, do we change a lot of stuff? Was that the question?
Yeah. Do you revamp rooms entirely, or do you just build in layers in each room? I guess.
Well, this place has been so big, to be honest. We were only now have we used all of our space properly. Yeah, one thing that's different with us than other people is people come back expecting some of the same characters and some of the same places, but we're writing a whole new show 4 times a year,
right? With
all new props and all new, you know, we it's like building an escape room in the same space 4 times a year with a different show. And we build most of the stuff. We've never bought an escape room prop. We build it all in-house, so it doesn't look like anybody else's.
Wow.
So we build to fit the story. We'll tear out a section or add a piece of furniture or do something here and there because we needed to progress the story that year. And then quite often that piece of furniture or prop will stay in that set even if we're not using it. Like just on the other side of this computer, I have a very expensive talking clock that was built in the 90s by Eric Prince. And we've used it 3 times since I got it in 96, but it's always in the room.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We lost him again.
We're doing so well too.
I know. I will say though that every time I go, I feel like the games that you have to do get a little bit there he is, he's back. I feel like your games get a little harder every time I go, or am I getting older and stupider?
Can I answer that?
No, this is not an open question.
As a game master, my wife sees what works and sees what doesn't work. So as we see what stumps you guys or what happens, we kind of change how the games are presented from time to time.
Yeah, because I remember one years ago where we were literally trying to throw something into a basketball hoop. So it was like a physical game. And now you really have to be like smart for some of these. And I'm like, oh shit, this isn't just throwing a ball into a hoop anymore. Like I gotta be smart here. But yeah, there's some, and then the magic tricks. Oh, we lost him again. The magic tricks are insane. Like, I don't know. I mean, he said he had magicians and stuff, so those are just amazing. The magic tricks. She's trying to come on.
I'm here. If you can click me in.
Yeah. Yeah. The magic tricks are amazing. I can't figure that shit out ever, like how that's done. But
well, we've been very lucky. We had when we first started, we had a guy, Rick Mao, who was our magic supervisor. I mean, when me and Dr. Belfry, when we were clowns, we did magic, but it was a different kind of magic that's a little too goofy even for here. But and then Rick turned us on to Chris Handa, who Susie knows well and was just in that last picture with me. And he is a student of magic. He knows where to find things. He knows all the books of this was done in the 20s and we can tweak it into today if we buy this one prop and then I spend a day turning it into a steampunk box instead of the thing with the Asian dragon spray painted on the side,
right,
stuff like that. That classic vampire there, that's on.
Damn PA weather.
He was talking about you, Dan, being the classic vampire.
I know.
Oh yeah, for
He's
sure.
all pale and everything,
He's not even pale. What?
Dan is pale. Look at him.
No, he's not.
Me, and then look at you.
Well,
he's
it's
glowing.
Oregon. We don't have sun here.
Right. That's why all the vampires live in Oregon.
Sure, that's
I didn't know that.
Actually true. That's actually true.
That's definitely true.
He imported all of his vampires from Oregon to Pennsylvania.
Yes. Keeps them in the basement.
That's right.
Can you guys
So
hear
Ricky,
me yet?
you
Yep.
there?
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
we got you. Go
Yeah.
ahead. You were telling us something about somebody on this.
Oh, yeah, because the classic-looking Christopher Lee vampire is Uncle Vlad, and we lost him, I guess, 10 years ago. But he was somebody from...
Oh, this is awful. Rain,
It
rain,
is
go
terrible.
away.
See?
It's time to haunt another day.
Because I'm not here.
Indeed. Indeed, Tina. Indeed. All right.
Agree.
I'm
Gotcha.
back if you can hear me.
Yep.
Mhm.
We got you.
So Uncle Vlad was actually a horror host in Ohio in the early 60s. And as a kid, he'd run away and join the circus and stuff like that. So it was like once
Right there?
I'd known him since the 80s and he just, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Marty Gere, Uncle Vlad. And he was just a classic. He may have pulled off the Christopher Lee look, but he was totally a Borscht Belt vampire, you know?
Oh, wow.
And
awesome.
he was hilarious. And I will tell you that some of our older lady customers would just swoon when they would see him. It was pretty funny.
That was awesome.
I bet.
I think your actors are definitely. Oh, dang it.
That's all right. We can keep talking about it.
Well, I want him to talk about the winter coat story.
Oh, well, the winter coat story. Let's do the winter coat story, and hopefully we can
hear
keep it
that.
for a couple more minutes.
The winter coat story.
Yeah.
Um,
Dawn.
no, I don't remember the winter coat story. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was a cast member or some insane person out in the line.
We'll see if details come in.
Yeah.
Or wait, was she talking about when I said almost all my winter coats have castle blood fangs? Maybe that.
Oh, maybe so.
Because I'm
maybe
not
so.
I'm not kidding you. I know at
Yeah.
least two. Because it seems like I always catch your show in obviously not Halloween season. So I'm either at the Christmas show or I'm at the St. Patrick's Day.
Right. And at Christmas, you might just get candy canes too.
True, maybe. But I'm trying to figure out the last time I was at your show. And it would have had to have been.
Well, you made it for a Halloween show. You made it for a Halloween show this past year.
I did. How was I there? Why was I there? Were you? Wait.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think you just left, but I remember
you were
because
there.
it was
You're
an
open on a
important. It was
Sunday.
an important emotional show, and you were here.
It was a very important emotional show, and I was there, and I had no idea what I was in for. It was. We're not even kidding. We're totally serious. It was a Sunday because you're open on Sundays and I'm not. So we made it to your show on a Sunday, and it was a very. If anybody who knew Steve Guild knew the relationship you had with him, they got it. By the end, they got it. There was like a little life lesson in there. It was very moving. Yeah, and I saw you in the gift shop, and I was like, that show, shit. I was like, your show was a little bit like there was a message, a hidden message there, but it was a very good show. And
if you knew, you could read the message.
I could pick it out. Yeah, not everybody would have.
No, and they wouldn't have to. You know, it's like a good science fiction show or whatever. We're not trying to shove things down anybody's throat. I mean, this is Western Pennsylvania. They can't agree 51-49 whether the sky is blue. And on either day, you'll get a different vote. Absolutely. So I need people to come pay the bills, you know, so I'm not going to like pistol whip people with something. And if they choose to ignore any kind of story like that, it's easy to, you know, but again, people like if we're doing, you're doing it for this group or that group or what, I'm like, no, because if I tell you about taking care of people a certain way and shepherding people a certain way, it doesn't matter what race, religion, political sways you are, anything. Everybody wants to do that with their friends and family.
Right.
Yep.
So nobody has to get upset by anything. And if you're in the know, you stop by the gift shop and we cry and we hug for a second and then you leave and it's good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a lesson there for anybody that goes. Yeah, it's very, I don't know. I wish you guys could experience it because it's definitely something that you can't explain in this show for sure.
That's why we were very.
Yeah, I just always say like that.
We were very. Go ahead. Yeah. You first.
Well, when the you know the reviewers come through and they're like, oh, we're gonna rate Castle Blood the same way we rate, Crawford School of Terror. You can't do that. They're in a class all by themselves. It's not an even.
And it's not even a higher or lower class. It's just we're over here somewhere doing the silly stuff.
Yep.
I mean, it was really rewarding when the legendary tour from Transworld came through.
Yeah.
So that people like Alan Hops and Tater and Kevin Alvey and all these people actually like, oh, this is what the hell you've been doing all these years.
Right.
You may buy the same skulls that we do, but otherwise, what the heck? You know?
Right.
So it was very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
We love it and it's our gig and this is what we do, you know. It's like my grandkids are here working it now, you know.
It's awesome.
So it's just how it is. My sister, my nieces, arguably my best friends ever.
And this is your 30th season this year?
Yep, 30th Halloween this year. You know, not 30th anniversary, but 30th season.
30th season.
Yep. So we're trying to pull out all the stops and really come full bore with things. It's a very interesting. We've already been working on that tour. I mean, we're not done with Summerween. We're not done with writing Summerween. No, don't tell anybody. It's only 4 days away.
What is it, Tuesday?
We're already working on that. We're already working. I know some of my cast members are watching tonight.
Yeah.
Live. And I know they're doing, shouldn't he be home finishing the script?
They're probably wondering when they're going to get this. And that's the amazing part. Like you could go this weekend and you would never know these people just got their script. You would.
Well, most of them know what's going to happen in their room. Why? They just don't know all the little details I need them to say because one sentence in one room is going to affect a sentence in another room. So they don't have that yet, but they know the kind of trick they're doing. They know the kind of attitude I need for them in the show, in that room, that kind of stuff. So, and they're good. They're real good. Yeah. And Dawn says, we get a script in Crowhaven. Well, this year they get a script in Crowhaven because usually my wife is the witch in Crowhaven. I let her do what she wants. So she just makes it up the last day and that's what we go with. But she's on the front porch for Summerween and my daughter's in Crowhaven and my daughter doesn't usually get a full script either. But they're good. They're pros.
Yeah. Well, and the winter coat story was Susie's winter coat story about the fangs. That was
my winter coat story.
That was. I wasn't processing.
I wasn't either.
I've had half a bucket of blood here. So I'm.
Remind me who's on vacation again, because I forget.
I am always on vacation.
This is true. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Well, I was trying to get Dawn to come on the show, but then I realized that she answered her own question.
So anything else?
No, I think we're good. Ricky, thanks for coming on. How can people find your show? Where are you located? Give us a little bit of detail on that.
Well, we're on Facebook on Castle. Sure, we're on Facebook as Castle Blood. We're online as The Castle Blood for both regular website and for Snapchat and Twitter and Tickety Talk and Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah, trying to get the old people to do TikTok last fall. That was
I can't even get it, and I'm the youngest one on this show.
Yeah, well, my daughter's pretty good on the social media stuff, so she's in charge of that.
Yep.
On YouTube, you can look for Castle Blood. You can look for Gravely Macabre. We have a couple different channels depending on who is running things. You can see clips of our old monster show. Doesn't have the movie, just has our ridiculous skits in it.
Right.
You can watch old commercials and stuff like that to kind of see the characters a little bit.
And they're located right here in the.
And we're in Monessen, Pennsylvania. We're about 20 miles south of Pittsburgh. We're right there on the Horseshoe Bend. That's right.
Yeah.
When I talk about,
or as I like to call it, pimple on the ass of Westmoreland County.
That's great. Perfect. You can do so many haunts in our area in a weekend. So if somebody's not from, the Pittsburgh area and they want to take a weekend trip, you can hit so many haunts. You're about 35, 40 minutes from me. Yeah. And you do time ticketing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that even makes it
we
easier
definitely do time ticketing. That has saved us through COVID.
Right.
Saved us. It saved us in COVID because we could totally juggle when the people were coming, how many people were coming and everything. And it worked out so great. My wife was telling me for years to do this and I didn't pay any attention to her. And now she was totally 100% right. And now we'll probably keep pushing more and more on the time ticketing because it just works out great for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seems to like it. Everybody seems to be getting used to it. You buy a time ticket to go to the movie now or pick your own seat or all that kind of stuff, or you have to have time ticket reservation for escape rooms. So the entertainment people are all just kind of used to that now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So if they do a time ticket with us early in the night, they can do 15 minutes and go right across the river and go see Demon House.
There you go.
There's just so many of us so close by to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And I'll be done now so you can talk.
Thank you, Ricky, for coming on. We really appreciate it. Again, I love your haunt.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I want to come out, but I'm coming. I might be coming out soon.
Oh,
So
he's got a job lined up for me.
He says that to every guest.
That's not true. I don't say it to everybody.
He's like your haunt's in the middle of Montana. I am there first weekend in October.
I don't think I'm going to Montana anytime
Hey,
soon.
remember when we were supposed to meet in January and you flaked on me? That was so fun.
Yeah, well, there's things.
Things. Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, anyway, before we head out, hey, what's going on next week, Troy?
What's going on next week? We have The Haunted Homestead, which is Tyler Bouchamp and Cheryl
Oh man! Wow.
Drinking Shireman.
Sure, we'll go with it. And I'm sure they're
Are they
not
from Texas? Please don't tell me they're from Texas.
Hold on. They are.
Jesus.
They. Why is this?
I ask this question every week.
I'm there. I don't know why. Why is it bringing up that? That's the wrong thing.
Troy, you are now banned from cocktails.
Oh man, that was not a cocktail. That was like 7.
It was like 7 cocktails.
They are a haunted house in a city in America. It doesn't have it in
I'm
there.
done.
It doesn't have it in
Texas show. Should we change the name of the show? What the heck?
The haunt drunk hour. But it's the haunting at the homestead. You know, it's the haunted homestead. Tyler's gonna kill me.
Yeah, he is. He's totally gonna light you up. I'm gonna send him the timestamp of where you screwed up.
Boop. Look at him! Look at him butcher your.
Look at this. You call this guy your friend? What's that?
My friend? I didn't say we were friends. What?
Anyway. Anyway, we'd like to thank Ricky, even though he's already gone and moved on to getting his script.
Oh, crap! Tyler's watching. Cheryl Shireman and Tyler Bouchamp. I like Bouchamp better. That's French. That sounds better. Bouchamp. I'm about to cancel. No, you can't cancel me. I'm uncanceled.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Ricky, for coming on. I know he's already gone.
Yeah, I'm going to be drunk for next week's show because he looks like he's having a blast.
I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk yet.
Yeah.
Tyler sent me this drink.
He said everybody that just drank a Castle Blood cocktail.
Tyler's fault. Tyler
oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Drink.
Everybody, thank you for coming on tonight. Appreciate everybody.
I gotta go back to the beach.
Yeah, you gotta do something, Troy. Everybody, have a good night. Stay scary.
Good night.
We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 8:00.
Bye.